on this table, but there can only be one show.
MTCB.
It's time for the Money Mind Mastery Podcast.
What's going on, everybody? You are now tuned in to the Triple M Podcast, Money Mind Mastery, and today my name is MP.
Just today?
Just today, my name is MP.
My name is Stefan SB.
And today we're in Ottawa, Ontario. Yesterday we were in Gatineau.
Are you sure? You don't sound like
It's
you
like
are.
I'm trying to think.
Is it Nepean or whatever?
Yeah,
It's a
that's
different
what
city.
we
That's
saw.
why.
When we put it in Google Maps,
we
it
were
says
driving, like, I
Nepean.
thought it was in Ottawa.
So this is
It's still Ottawa.
It's still Ottawa. Okay, you guys got me confused now. I'm like, what's going on here? Where are we?
You just sounded like you were confused. You wasn't sure.
You made me second guess myself now.
yeah.
But today we're in Ottawa. It's a beautiful day. Yesterday we were in Gatineau, Quebec. So we're going Canada wide here, you could say. And I'm excited, Matt. Today we have a really good guest, and let's get straight to it. So today we have Nabil The Thrill Khatib, founder of Team Bushido in Ottawa, Ontario, and with a crazy, incredible background in martial arts with over 43 fights in his career, Nabil truly brings a unique perspective to the world of fighting. Now, with all of his experience, we're actually really blessed to have you in our presence just so we can really tap into your background and wealth of knowledge. So without further ado, Nabil.
I appreciate that. Thank you. That's a very, very nice introduction.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure to talk to you guys. Like I don't really know you guys. Like as we talked earlier, a little bit. I just like to go on the fly, meet you guys, and discuss things as we go. We get to know each other, and that kind of thing. So you said Nabil The Thrill. So I'll tell you the funny story about that. So realistically, my name is Nabil. Nabil, right? Pronounced that way. When I started fighting, when I first started fighting, it was kickboxing. My nickname was what do they call me? The Prince.
The Prince.
Nassim Hamed, right?
Oh yeah.
But I'm like, I'm not much. I'm not. He's a prick. The guy's a prick. That guy was a prick, right?
Yeah.
So that faded off a bit. But then when I started fighting MMA. A good friend of mine, one of my old students actually, he's a farmer, and his name is Glenn Smurl. He came to my first open gym when I first opened up a gym, and he showed up he gave me a grand opening gift. He put his picture on the wall. It was, I think it's Fraser Ali, The Thrill at Manila. Was it Fraser Ali? I think it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So The Thrill at Manila, and he said it's always a thrill to watch you fight, Nabil The Thrill. So my name is Nabil, but my name's been pronounced Nabil my whole life, pretty much Nabil The Thrill. So that's why I went. But then after I retired, my sister had passed away, and she was the one who actually named me. She's 8 years older than me. She had passed away, and I said, you know what? I'm retired. I'm no longer. Sure, I'm The Thrill from my character, but my name is actually Nabil. So I asked people to start pronouncing my name Nabil, which you did correctly, and I thank you for that. So.
Anytime. No, I love that. I always love hearing like everyone's story and how they got their nicknames and all that stuff.
Yeah,
because it's interesting. Because
it is.
It's always a story.
Yeah, it's always a weird story. Sometimes it can be weird. Sometimes it can be like whoa, and then sometimes it's like wow,
It's
that's
straight
deep.
up. Yeah.
Because we had that one guy. It's like, how did you get your name? YouTube.
Yeah.
What?
Is that right?
Okay.
Yeah.
It was
No
like,
explanation needed. That's it. Just YouTube.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
simple. As simple as that.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. So Nabil, let's get to know you a little bit more. Like, how did you get into martial arts or combat sports? Like, what drew you into it?
Man, it's interesting. I don't even know how it happened. I just started training martial arts. I used to be a chef before my fight career. I was a chef for a long time. I used to work in different restaurants. I say chef, but I was the head chef of a couple of smaller restaurants, but I ended up working at the Chateau Laurier, which is a big hotel. I was so proud of myself because I actually, I lied my way in there, by the way. I'll tell you that story. So usually a chef will have like a book of photos of their work, like a portfolio kind of thing, right? Pictures of their pages of their work, their foods and so on, which I did. And I've given so many resumes to the Chateau Laurier. I wanted to work there so bad. At least a dozen. No calls. I'm like, what the fuck? What do I got to do? So I said, you know what? Fuck it. I took my book. I got my resume. I walked in the doors one day. I said, I have an interview with the chef today. Oh, you do? It's 11 o'clock.
Bold.
I said, 11 o'clock. He said, yep, 11 o'clock. Is it Chef Nelson? Yep.
Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had
That's
no
him.
idea.
That's him.
So they call the office. They're chatting back and forth. Blah blah blah. Okay, the chef will see you. Yep. So I went up to the office, and the chef was like, "We had an interview. Yeah, you called me last week, and you said to come down at 11 o'clock. Blah blah. I mean, that's strange because it's like just before service at 12. It's just, but okay, no problem. We'll go through it. So we went through my work, my pages, and I started working the next day.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's how you're supposed to do it, though. You know, like,
I mean,
you have to be
otherwise-
bold.
I mean, bold, or I mean, I did sort of lie, but I didn't lie about my experience and what I know how to do, right, and how hard I worked. So I did find my way in. And I mean, sometimes you got to do that, right?
Does that chef know the whole story?
Yeah.
now?
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah,
What do you say? What do you say?
I really never had.
Was
it.
just like
it's good for you. Yeah. But at the same time, within a year and a half, I was escorted out of the Charlerie.
oh damn.
Because they basically told him to go fuck himself. He was an asshole.
Oh.
Yeah. He would make waitresses cry, and like he would yell at
He's
people.
not
like,
a good person.
Just, dude, I'm telling you, I had enough with the restaurant business. It was crazy. Like I get you're under pressure. You know, you're stressed out. You got to making food, but I loved making food. I still love making food. I love making meals. Right. And management above, they're stressed out because they have things got to be ready. Blah blah blah. Big events. Shut up.
Yeah.
Just leave us work. You know. So anyway, I left the restaurant business, and I was training. So before I'll go back to that story. So I'm working at the restaurant at Charlerie. This guy named Kay walks in. His name's Kay. He's a big, muscular guy, and he was walking in. And, he's always happy. He's always smiling.
Yeah.
He goes, "Oh, you should see what I learned in jiu-jitsu today." I said, "Oh yeah, what's that?" He goes, "Oh, grab me from behind." So I grab him from behind like this. Like that, and he just drops. He drops, and he elbows me in the groin. What the fuck? Yeah, he's like, I'm like, that's pretty cool. So where'd you learn that? He says, I trained at this place, this jiu-jitsu place called Terran Jiu-Jitsu. The very next day I went. I tried a class. It was like one of those introductory classes. And 1995, get a free T-shirt and blah, blah, blah. Or uniform, whatever it was. And guys, I just, like, going from a life I used to have, because I used to have a drug addiction when I was a kid. So going through that problem growing up, and then getting married, and then cleaning my life up, and then becoming a chef, I was still sort of like not disciplined enough is the word. So I started training, and then everybody's like, bowing, yes,
yeah.
respect.
Yeah.
Like, man, I've never had so much respect in my life. Where's this coming from?
Yeah.
So I pretty much dove right into it, right? And I started really getting. I mean, everyone as a kid was, in my age anyway, was excited to watch Bruce Lee and that type of thing, right? So I kept training, kept learning, and then a lot of the stuff was just killing me, just being thrown all the time, because it's Japanese style jiu-jitsu, like original jiu-jitsu, we'll call it, being thrown like judo style, and being hurt, letting them hurt you for demonstration. It just took a toll on my body, but I kept training, and I kept watching some new styles of martial arts, and I started kickboxing. I trained with Jean-Yves Theriault, if you guys know what that is. He's a 23-time world champion kickboxer. He's retired, of course, many, many years. He's, how old is he now? 60s? In his 60s?
Wow.
And I started training with him, and I never had a fight, really. Street fight, maybe once, really. I wasn't really a fighter. Getting ready for my first fight. I'm sparring, first kickboxing fight. And then one day, he says, you got to spar with me. Get me ready. Oh, my God, I'm excited. He's like, what's his record? 76 fights or something like that? Wow. 61 knockouts.
Ooh.
I mean,
that's crazy.
North American kickboxing above the waist, that kind of style. But he was the champ, like 23-time world champion kickboxer, right? And I was all excited, very excited. Like, man, I'm going to spar with the champ.
Yeah.
So, and they called me Iceman, if you guys remember the name Iceman, prior to Chuck Liddell and everybody else. So he was the Iceman, the original one. Yeah, the OG. So I put my shin pads on, my foot pads on, my boxing gloves, my elbow pads, my headgear.
You ready?
Like my mouth, everything. Guys, I walk in the ring. I'm all excited. Jean-Yves is standing there, gloves, running shoes. Nothing else. I'm like, I swear to God, I'll remember this like it was yesterday. I'm here like this. I'm looking up and down. I'm like, oh, okay, so no punches to the head. He looks to me like this. He goes, "Don't worry about me, kid."
I would have been freaking out.
Oh,
Were you freaking out?
swear to God. Like, oh, okay.
That's mind games right there.
Never touched him. Didn't touch him once.
Yeah.
Didn't touch him once. Swear to God. It was fun. Never touched him.
Wow.
I tried. Trust me, I tried.
And so he was wearing no shin guards.
No shin guards.
Did he
running
feel
shoes.
Just running
excited
shoes.
too?
Just running
Running
shoes.
shoes and gloves. Good
Yeah.
thing he even wore gloves.
Yeah.
Right? So, but he barely hurt me. He was very good at coaching, right? He didn't want to hurt me. He touched me, but I was not able to touch the guy at all. I was hitting his gloves every single time.
Wow.
Maybe 4 or 6 months in, we were sparring on a regular basis. I finally hit him with a jab.
Wow.
Dude, I fucking nailed him hard. He was pissed. Jaiv, if you remember this day, I don't know if you probably don't because you spar with many. You hit me with an overhand right. Pop. Oh, fuck. I paid for that jab. Trust me.
Oh, he got you back.
Yeah, it got me back. It was good though. I mean, it's a learning experience I'll never ever forget because it changed my life honestly from that point forward. Because you don't understand like today, most people don't understand what it's like to be able to be in a dangerous position and still be able to move forward, right? So we talk about the fight or flight. We can't. I mean, you want to fly, go ahead, but then what?
Yeah.
You're going to lose for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So you just got to fight, learn, fight, learn, fight, and then you die. That's it.
And that's it. Yeah. I really love that whole story because the truth of the matter is with like martial arts, it's all about respect and discipline. Because at the end of the day, there's someone that's always going to be better than you,
Yeah.
right? And when I first got into martial arts or boxing, I thought I was like the top guy. I'm the top gun. Anywhere I go, I'll mess everyone up.
Right.
Until you get hit by someone that knows how
Yeah.
to box,
Yeah.
right? And the discipline aspect, right? If you want to get better, you have to show up to practice. You can't just show up once a week.
Yeah.
And then ask your coach a month later, I want to fight.
Yeah, I get that a lot.
Yeah, right? I used to be that guy.
Yeah,
And the coach
yeah.
was like, man, Marv,
Smart
you need to be
work.
here every day.
Yeah.
If you're not here every day, I'm not letting you fight. I'm
Yep.
like, well, fuck.
That's your life.
Yeah,
That's your life,
exactly.
man.
Yeah.
That's why they say you can't play any fight like boxing. Can't play boxing. Can't play MMA. Can't play any of those because it's not a game.
Yeah, I didn't even know I wanted to fight until I think my coach asked me if I wanted to fight. I'm like, it's like most students will ask, "Oh, you think I'm ready?" I don't know. I think that's what I said to him, and I was nervous as hell. Like I was nervous, like because I've never really been in a fight. Really,
How did it go?
I won.
Okay.
I won,
Nice.
and I took all of everything that I learned from my coach. It was literally you could watch in the ring. Like the guy he went crazy out on me. He went. We were both had our first fights, or both our first fight, kickboxing. And I started throwing a jab. I think from what I remember, and then he's started throwing a flurry of punches. So I'm like, my hands were up like this the whole time. The whole time, it was just like this. I backed up into the ropes, and he just came at me. Bop 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 bop.
Oh.
Bop. Okay, my turn. And I ended up winning that fight. So
He gassed out.
yeah,
He gassed out. Yeah.
He used it
I
all.
was like nervous as hell to just protect myself.
Yeah. Was that a kickboxing fight?
Kickboxing,
It
yeah,
was.
yeah.
Man, I love kickboxing. And when we were looking you up on YouTube, we saw some. Was it you're fighting a Thai guy
Oh, in Thailand.
in Thailand?
Yeah.
So you trained in Thailand as well, yeah?
Yeah.
With I think that's where is it?
The
Tiger Muay Thai.
Tiger Muay Thai, yeah.
How's training in Thailand? Like walk us through the experience.
Well, I mean, it's funny because any place I've trained in the world, it's all the same.
Really?
It's all the same. It's all very much the same. Same sort of warm-ups, same sort of drills. Technically, pretty much the same. It's just the environment is a bit different. So, I mean, in Thailand, the fucking weather is crazy.
Yeah.
You train
It's
outside.
It's humid.
Right? You sweat your fucking balls off. But I love training in the heat. Like if I want to go to Good Life or whatever, any kind of fitness gym, and the AC's on, it's annoying.
Yeah.
I'd much rather be working out and sweating. Sit in my office doing work, yeah, okay, AC's on, is great, fantastic. But if I'm working out, I hate feeling the cold. So Thailand was great in that aspect. Tiger Gym, they had some pro MMA fighters. They had Roger Huerta. They had Brian Brian, I can't remember the last name. A couple of pro UFC fighters down there. They were coaching. I was training with them. So that's pretty much the best part about it, is that I was training with like professional athletes.
Right.
But super nice people. But the best part about Thailand, though, you get people from everywhere. I met people from everywhere, from Germany, from Switzerland, from Russia, from Australia, from everywhere. And that was the fun part. And when I fought, and my coach tells me, he goes, I told him I wanted to fight. He goes, okay, we find you a fighter. We find you a fighter. So, yeah, but I want to fight a Thai guy. He looks up at me like this because he's small. Yeah. Because most Thai guys are small, they're not very big.
Yeah.
So I said, "Come on, you got to find somebody." So I ended up finding this guy, Rockstar. This guy, he's the third on the left.
Yeah, that guy.
He was, I think, 260.
What?
Yeah,
He's that guy?
yeah, he's big. Yeah, you watch the fight. See the fight, you see how big he is. He's a big dude.
Yeah, big.
I fought at 185. It was supposed to be 185, but he was like 260 for sure. Anyway, so and incidentally, that's my only knockout in my whole career. I've had one knockout. It's only one Thai. Man, I've tried in MMA. I don't ever, I've won decisions. I've won submissions. I've never won a knockout. I just wish I could have I don't know. I guess my hands are not that fast or I don't have that speed. Maybe because I'm older or whatever. But that was nice. It was a nice feeling because it was a jab to the body, then overhand right.
Yeah.
Perfect.
And then I went to go hit it. Where'd he go? He was on the ground.
Oh, he's gone.
Yeah, he's gone. So it was nice. It was a very nice feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, because the thing with training in Thailand, like you mentioned, is just hot.
Yeah.
Like as soon as you enter, I'd imagine now you'd be like just dripping and
You
sweat,
just-
just warmed up already.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
You're
you're ready to
shower, you're
fight.
sweating already.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
imagine training.
Yeah.
Talk about compare because you compared about the actual training aspect, but compare about the atmosphere and how big Muay Thai is, obviously in Thailand to here.
It depends on what area you go to, but I
Okay.
mean, you'll have like example in Phuket, you'll have like sections, like there's like 4 or 5 gyms in one section.
Wow.
And you drive maybe a little while, then you'll find a few more gyms in that section. So they're not really sporadic. There's a few that are sporadic, but they're like very, very few that are like separated like that. Most of the gyms are like because they want tourism, right? They want tourism people
Yeah.
coming to training. That's where they are. It's pretty much so.
That's true. Yeah, because the thing with like Thailand too, like I know with a lot of like hotels, they have like fight camps.
Yeah.
Where you just fly into Thailand, you have like you can fly in, you have a hotels, you have like whole like all food paid for you for like 2 weeks, you train there and whatnot.
Yeah.
And a lot of places are doing
Like
that.
all
Brings
inclusive
in-
for fighting.
Literally, right? So that's the crazy part. And now fighting Thai guys, like, do you feel that they're built different out there compared to here?
I wouldn't say built different. It's just a matter of experience, right? So if me and you, all 3 of us, we were training since we were 5 years old, and fighting since we were like 5 or 7 or 8 years old, we'd be the same as them.
That's true. Oh yeah, because
100%.
that's all they do there.
That's all they do. I mean, they fight every weekend.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Literally, as when they're kids, they've had this guy's had over 300 fights.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It's over 300 fights.
Yeah.
Crazy.
It's my first professional Muay Thai fight. Right.
that one
I've
guy,
had
yeah.
40 something other fights, but I mean, he was trying to elbow me. He was trying to like elbow top of my head. He was trying to do a bunch of stuff. I mean, I'm a bit more probably. I was more athletic than him, probably more likely. But he's a Thai fighter. Is what he does. He's been doing it since he was a kid. So that being said, I mean, if there's so much talent in the world. There's so many people that are athletic, and if they were to do the same thing since they were 5 years old to be, you've got MMA fighters from 5 years old to when they're 20, you won't be able to touch them.
Yeah.
You can't. I mean, you can't. So, I mean, that's really the only way I can compare it. I mean, I'm not going to say that they're any more special than anyone else. Just the only thing that's special is that they've been doing this since they were
Yeah,
5.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
We need that. That's just consistency, man. Like
Yeah,
if
exactly.
you do it longer, you can do it better.
This is why I try to get people to start training when they're younger.
Younger, yeah.
I mean, I don't like coaching 5-year-olds and 6-year-olds because they don't really, it's more like babysitting.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely.
And I don't mind babysitting, I don't. But for me to teach a technique and for them not to get in, we're just going to have fun. That's fine. Have fun. Let's just have fun. If you guys want to babysit, we'll have a babysitting class instead of, once they're excited about learning, that's a different story. And I mean, I can go on about fucking martial arts and bullshit. Fucking people starting kids at 3 years old, oh, it's a great tiny tots and tiny tigers or whatever you want to call them. I tried it at one point in my gym, and then I got tired of babysitting. I really did.
Yeah.
and they're not learning anything. They're just
They're kids.
They're kids,
Yeah.
you know.
Even kind of like borderline kids are babies, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
So I just stopped doing it. Now I only have. I'm even thinking about dropping my kids class here and just putting the kids that are like 7, 8, 9 years old in the adults, because I have parents that bring their kids and they train in the adult class as well.
Yeah.
They jump in right afterwards.
Wow.
9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
You know. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see.
And so with your background in both like BJJ and in striking,
Yeah.
like how has each discipline really like shaped your life?
Well, so training traditional jiu-jitsu at one point, and training North American kickboxing, which is kicks above the hips. It was fun and I loved it, but as I said, I was watching some videos, maybe YouTube, I can't remember what it was, whatever it was. Then I started seeing a lot of different types of fights. Then I see this fight, this guy's kicking the guy in the leg. I'm like, what the fuck is that? We don't do that shit. Yeah. I had no idea what that was. I must have hurt. So, it's kickboxing. Wait a minute, we don't. So I realized North American kickboxing is above the waist, and international kickboxing is leg kicks, right?
Right.
Only above the knees. Man, what the fuck is all these rules?
Yeah.
Right. And then I said elbows. What? Muay Thai.
Yeah.
I didn't know much about martial arts at all, really, at the point. So then I started learning. I started finding places to train in martial arts, in different martial arts like Muay Thai. And then one day I'm training with this guy in my gym. He does a bicep lock on me. What the fuck was that?
Bicep.
Yeah, bicep lock. What the fuck? He goes, oh, it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I'm like, we do Jiu-Jitsu. Yeah, but this is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. What? What?
Yeah, what are you talking
from
about?
Brazil?
Yeah. What? So he gives me basically a rundown of what it is. Anyway, so I started learning Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I found a place in Montreal called Gamma Julina's Academy of Mixed Martial Arts. Yeah, there you go. So Phil Julina, who's if you guys don't know who he is, look him up. Phil Julina, Julinas, I think it's an S there. Anyway, so Phil is an original Dog Brother. If you guys know what that is. Dog Brother. You ever heard Dog Brothers?
No.
Okay, so what is it? Stick fighting, Cali
Arnie's.
fighting. Yeah, all these stick fighting
Yeah.
and whatever.
Yep.
So him and I think 4 or 5 other guys, they started this group, and they're called the Dog Brothers, right? And they all have like sensei names.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's Sled Dog, and somebody else is such a dog. Anyway, they're a group. I don't know much about the other names, but I know Phil. I've known Phil a long time. So I started training in his gym, and he's like I said, he's a Dog Brother, and he was in his 50s, and they would do like stick fighting with hockey gloves, shorts and t-shirt, and a fencing mask. They'd fucking smash each other, guys. I'm telling you, he'd come back with fucking bruises, like his hips and legs would. Oh, Phil, are you nuts? What's wrong? What is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, no, I don't.
No, we don't.
Yeah, right. I don't know what you mean.
I don't understand.
Man, you want to talk about somebody who knows what fighting is? This guy, Phil, look him up, Phil Julius. So Gamma, GAMMA, that's where I was training. And this is where I met George St. Pierre, Dennis Kang, Patrick Cote. These are the guys that I was training with when I first started training BJJ and MMA.
Wow.
Yeah, crazy, right? And this is when it was a show called TKO in Montreal.
Yep.
And George was fighting on TKO, and I think Pat was fighting on TKO and so on, and a few others. And I just like, man, I was being smashed all the fucking time. The first time I went to the gym, I was given a blue belt in BJJ from Wagner Fabiano. So Wagner Fabiano, he was a WEC champion before UFC and so on. Anyway, he gave me a blue belt because I, trained under him once, and yeah, you're a blue belt, because I was already a first or second degree black belt in Japanese style jiu-jitsu. I was all proud of myself. I'm a blue belt. Well,
Let's go.
So I went to Montreal. I said, I'm going to try my skills at this Gamma place. I signed up with Phil and started rolling with white belts, and they were, it's pretty much smashing me everywhere. White belts were kicking my ass.
Wow.
Choking me, sweeping me, doing everything you could think of to me. And I was like, Okay, go home. Go. We know one of those things.
I have that all the time after sparring.
Yeah, right.
You know?
So, but and I didn't give up. I just kept going back, and I told Fabio Hollanda was my BJJ coach at the time. Fabio Hollanda, and he was very hard on me at sometimes because I know I could be a bit annoying. Well, at first I could be a bit annoying, asking questions too many times and stuff. I know what it's like now because now I coach. So Fabio, I got you. I understand. And so I kept going back, and I would travel from Ottawa to Montreal 3 times a week to go there, train, come back, and coach my classes.
Wow, that's a drive.
Like 3 times a week, yeah, literally. But it really, really made my career different because I was learning that, everything that I learned here was okay, but everything I'm learning over there is that much different.
Levels, yeah.
Different levels. And that's what you have to do in this type of this life, no matter what it is, whether it's fighting, whether it's finance, whether it's this. You got to go. You know what they say? They always talk about surrounding yourself with the best people.
Yep.
That's what I did.
That's what you did.
I surrounded myself with not only the best people, but the best coaches, the best minds, the best everything. And that's what I did, and that's what got me to where I was going. I mean, I had my first pro fight at 36, right? Wow. And that's most guys are retiring at 36.
Yeah, it's a retiring age.
So and I said I wanted to fight pro, and people are like, "Oh, you crazy? How many fights do you think you're gonna have?" I said, "I don't know, well, 6, 7,
however much."
I had like 22 pro fights,
Yeah.
And I'd go back if I could. I would, honestly. So, yeah. So that's how basically how it went out.
Wow.
Yeah.
Liked it. Now, can you? Now, I always wanted to know like the difference between like Brazilian jiu-jitsu and Japanese jiu-jitsu. Is it rules? Is it the way they? Like, is it submissions? What's the big difference between the two that you can point out?
I'll tell you one thing that you tell a jiu-jitsu guy that you call it traditional jiu-jitsu, he'll get upset with you. He says, it's just jiu-jitsu. It's just jiu-jitsu, okay? It's jiu-jitsu. Okay, calm down.
Yeah.
We're just trying to figure out the difference.
Yeah.
It's true. So the difference is basically jiu-jitsu originated with the samurai, right? And they would have so you have judo, you have karate, you have aikido. I think those are the 3, and those are all derived from jiu-jitsu, right? Because in jiu-jitsu we do judo, in jiu-jitsu we do aikido, so moving with jiu-jitsu meaning gentle art, of course. And in jiu-jitsu we also do karate. So the strikes, it's all the stuff that in karate that they do in karate or karate, I did in my style of jiu-jitsu as well. The katas and the movements and the wiper blocks and just. It was all a part of it, right? Except in karate, they just concentrate on strictly that stuff. Mm. But then after years, you'll see today in karate they work on throws and they'll work on jiu-jitsu moves. Because we have to start adding some stuff.
Yeah,
it's true.
True.
And in judo, I mean, you see in the Olympics, it's just throws.
It's throws, yeah.
Throws and holding them down. So that's the difference between a Japanese style jiu-jitsu and Brazilian jiu-jitsu is competition and it's self-defense. I would say it's hard to say whether one is better at self-defense than the other. However, the difference is that in Brazil they designed it so that a smaller person can overcome a bigger person, right? For the most part, small, manipulation of smaller limbs, that kind of thing, with the strength of your own body, and learning how to manipulate your own body to manipulate somebody else's body,
right?
In a way that's controlling for you, so you don't get hurt. They don't get hurt. Just like sort of submitting them in a safe way, right? Because originally you're just gonna smash this guy, get the fuck out of there. That's what you're doing. Right?
Yeah.
In BJJ, you can submit, you can make him tap, or just hold position until police come or whatever, or put him asleep, and then until somebody comes and helps you. There's a bunch of different things that are so different between the two, and whether to say one is better than the other, I wouldn't say that. They're just different. It's different. Okay. For example, let's talk about Krav Maga.
Oh yeah.
So you tell me what you think of Krav Maga.
It's just self-defense. Like, from what I understand, if someone's striking me, I'm just trying to just disarm them. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know.
So Krav Maga is a Israeli style of martial arts.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it so much because it's such great self-defense. However, it's a great self-defense. However, they say it's a military aware form of attack and self-defense kind of thing. But I mean, it's jiu-jitsu, really. If you look at every single fucking move they do, is jiu-jitsu, right? But they gouge in the eyes, and they knee you in the balls. I'm like, dude, okay, hold on. So you're telling me if you're in a fight, like a street fight, you're not going to knee him in the balls? Fucking guy gouge his eyes. It's just a street fight.
Yeah.
You're going to do it anyway, right? This is a natural thing that you. Oh yeah, but you get used to it. Come on. You're gonna get used to scratching someone's eyes out. It's a street fight.
Like, you veteran at street fight?
Basically, all I'm saying is that if you train jiu-jitsu, right, you're learning all the really important stuff. You hold somebody in position. You want to gouge his eyes out? You can.
You can, yeah.
You want to knee him in the balls? You can.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not knocking Krav Maga. Don't send me emails. Please don't cancel me.
What the hell is that?
Don't cancel me. I'm just saying, some people they just boast so much about their martial arts. It's so good, so good. Okay, well, good for you. But don't tell me it's going to be good for this and good for that and good for this and that when it's not. And don't tell me, oh, it's only good. No, you could do the same shit in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? And gouge somebody's eyes out. Just shut the fuck up.
Now, Nabil, I want to talk a little bit about training at Gamma. So you trained with like Dennis Kang, GSP,
Pat Cote.
Pat Cote. How is training with all those guys? Because they're killers.
They are. I mean, Dennis Kang was already fighting over in Japan, right?
Yeah.
So to train, first of all, when I first met him, like, I was starstruck, 100%. Because I started watching Bushido fights in Japan and Pride and so on. Pride is not. It's not a gay thing. Listen, it's not Pride. Listen, for you young guys and girls, just so you know, my age group, fighters, my age group know what this is. Pride Fighting Championship in Japan. Okay, so let's not get this twisted. Yeah?
He's like, whoa, he fought for Pride back then. See, I told you the
I'm a good man.
is already
I fight for Pride.
Yeah.
So Dennis was fighting at Pride. I think he fought in Pride. Bushido is a show called Bushido. And man, they fought in a ring too, so it was very visible. Everything you could see was very clear. And man, he had some fucking pretty tough fights, but he did really well, and I was really excited to meet him. And when I met him, I was starstruck, and training with him and with George St. Pierre and Pat Cote and Ivan Manjivar and all these other guys. I was very starstruck, but then I was so happy to be able to train with some of the best in the world, right?
Yeah.
And and not knowing that they were literally going to be the best in the world.
Yeah.
It was just good, and it was just good. Like being smashed all the time, being beaten up all the time. I would get better and better every time I went. So it was always a good feeling.
Yeah, and it's always going back to that thing, like you mentioned. Like if you want to be great, you really have to surround yourself with like the elites. Yeah. And that's like it's proof in the pudding. Like if you just like surround yourself with just people on the same level, you might get better, but how fast?
Much better? Yeah.
And how fast and how much better can you actually get?
Yeah.
Right. So that's key if you really want to do well in anything in this life. Right. If you want to do well in like your career, you have to find a nice mentor.
100%.
Right. Yeah. And so how did you find those guys again?
I don't remember actually. I think I just searched something on the internet, possibly for a gym in Montreal, or maybe someone told me about it. I think maybe somebody told me about it, and I ended up going there. I don't remember to be quite honest. And then, I started training. I was training there for a long time, probably a couple of years, and then I got my brown belt from Fabio, which was nice.
Wow.
And things started changing for some reason. I would start training at TriStar Gym. I found out about George used to go to TriStar Gym, so I wanted to find out about it. So I started going to TriStar Gym. I met Firas Zahabi. It turns out, I was like, hey, I recognize this place. I fucking fought here. So I did an amateur Muay Thai fight there. My first one ever. Years prior to that. I didn't even know. And I sort of had bad flashback because I fucking won that fight, but I lost that fight. if you watch a fight, if you watch my fight, I beat the crap out of this guy. This guy threw a few extra knees that hit me in my butt, actually, and he won by decision. I was blown. I was like literally. They were about to announce the winners after the third round. I told my nephew was with me. I said, "Bring the camera here, take a picture, because I'm gonna end up, you know."
Yeah.
And they go, winner is blah blah blah. I'm like,
How?
I just literally just went like, okay, whatever. But you could see him like, you could see his energy was drained after the second round.
Yeah.
And I'm boxing him more than anything.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know. That's just the way it was. So at least I got that knockout in Thailand
Exactly.
later.
Exactly.
But so I started training at TriStar, and I started meeting all kinds of other people there. You know, Rory McDonald, and then people started coming there from overseas, from other countries to train. And I used to train with some of the best, like literally, like I mean George, of course, the best in the world. But people used to come there all the time, and I was meeting somebody new, and I would go there. I was going there twice a week. Then I stopped going to Gamma because most of us were training at TriStar now, and I was there every Friday or Saturday, whichever day they chose, for sparring. I'd go train for an hour and a half, and rush back and teach class for years.
How long was that drive?
An hour and a half because I was living.
Okay, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it was on the east side of our city, which is closer to Montreal. I live in the west side now, so now it's like a 2.5 hour drive, which is still. And if you're going to train with the best and the best, it's still good to go.
Yeah, and what was your driving factor for that? Like, what really like made you want to do this every single like your motivation? We'll call it that to do this. Because an hour and a half that's not short.
I don't know. I just did it. You know, I'll say something that I say a lot is motivation is bullshit.
I agree.
I just do it. I don't know. I know that I have to do it. I know that and after a while the drive was just like. It was just like a no-brainer. Just go. I wouldn't even know how I get there half the time. I just go, and I'm there.
It's just
I don't remember any lights.
Routine.
I don't remember. Such a routine. Yeah.
I like that, man.
Yeah. Well, let's move on. You talked about all your experiences in fighting, but ultimately you surrounded yourself with kind of shaped you where you are right now. Owning this gym. Talk about how to become like an effective leader, because when you told this story about the COVID thing where you started your own gym, closed down, and now you're here, what kept you going?
What kept me going? I don't know. Just ADHD at its best, I guess.
Is this your love for the sport, your love for fighting? Teaching people,
I love coaching. Yeah, I love coaching people. I can't sit still, kind of thing. I love to coach people. I love to see them. I love to see people grow. I'm a service person, right? So I love to give service. So I love to see people grow. I'm not really a fan of people that are here to become champions. I mean, I'm a fan of people who are here and want to be better, right? If that means you competing and that's going to make you a better human being, amazing, right? Because that's what it did for me. I was never really a prick as a kid, but I was cocky like a lot of male Lebanese kids growing up in the city. So, but I had that smacked out of me quite a bit, and I'm glad I did, because I learned I learned how to be present, and that's what I try to teach my students: is learn how to be present always. Learn that no matter what, there's always somebody going to be better than you. And learn that respecting others is also respecting yourself, and that's what I learned in my sport.
I agree. The last part is the most important part too.
Yeah, of course.
Right? Because if you can't respect yourself, or even love yourself, like, dude, you're not gonna. How can you expect that from anyone else?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So,
now, going back to the initial part, like, how do you lead? How do you be an effective leader? Like,
have I or
how do you become one? Yeah. People look up to you.
Yeah,
a lot of people do.
So the way you're going to be a good leader is by, first of all, being what you say you are, right? So that's number one. Be what you say you are. I'm this person, this person, this person. Then be that fucking person, right? That's one. Two is always admit your wrongs.
It's big.
Always admit your wrongs.
Yeah.
And try to fix your wrongs, right? Whether it's you said something the wrong way, or I explained something the wrong way and explain it to it better, because now maybe, for example, I'm coaching something, I see people doing it all the wrong way. I'm like, maybe, hey guys, come back. Maybe I just didn't explain it correctly. Let me try and show it to you this way. If you have any questions, please ask me now. Because sometimes I'll do things too quick and then maybe I don't think about it. And I think, okay, you guys know as much as I do. So that's the kind of thing. So just always, and I don't want to say even admit, just correct what you're doing. That's not beneficial for anybody.
Absolutely.
What else? Just be nice.
Yeah.
Just be nice. Be nice. If someone is not, well, that's their problem.
Yeah,
it's not really
true.
yours.
That's true.
Somebody's not nice. It's not your problem. It's theirs.
It's also hard to follow, like, especially you being a leader. It's also hard to follow someone that's just an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now, with like instructing classes and whatnot, I know with like a lot of kids, or not even kids, it can even be with like adults. You know how they say everyone's style is different, or everyone's the way that people, everyone's physique is different. The way that they accept instruction is different, and being an instructor, it's always important to be like not an instructor, but being a student, it's important for your students to be very comfortable with their instructor. Because if they're not, what are the chances of them going like, "Mom, I want to come back"?
They won't.
Going to that, I'm going to go right to that question, not that comment there. I get this question a lot, like outside the gym. Well, what kind of martial arts should I teach my kids? I said, it doesn't matter. You bring them to a place, taekwondo, karate, muay thai, MMA, whatever. If the instructor is good, he's in the right place. Doesn't matter what it is.
True.
Doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what your goal is. Doesn't matter whatever your goal is, whatever you think you want for your child. The important part is that the instructor is a good person, is a good human, and his goal is to make this kid a better person, not a better martial artist. Fuck that bullshit. Make him a better person. And if he learns self-defense on the way up, fantastic. That's the best part. And that's it.
True. I like that, man. Because self-defense, and I think it's just the discipline part.
Yeah.
I think those are the two most important things for the new youth coming up.
Yeah.
Right. And I know when we first got in, like you said to one of your kids, like you're gonna use jiu-jitsu not in the streets, right? Or what did you say again? It was
You're not gonna use it in the street. Don't fight in the street.
Yeah.
Train over here. Use jiu-jitsu, self-defense, the kind of thing. Because we had a discussion a couple times that he's like, he has this kid. He keeps approaching him. He says he wants to have a fight, just him and him. And he goes, well, I don't know. But then all of a sudden, I find out that one of those kids are setting up group fights. And he's sort of helping him guide it.
yeah.
He's like, no, we don't do that. No.
Yeah.
Oh no, but there's adults. Yeah, what adults? There's no
one's gonna sanction that shit.
If you have a physical adult, then they're actually not an adult.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
no, stop it. So we had that agreement, and he's not going to do that anymore.
Yeah. It's something like self-defense. It's something that you want to learn, but it's something that you also would never want to use ever.
No, well, of course.
Yeah.
No, we don't want to have to use it, but sometimes you'll have to.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's true, man. And with a lot of kids that you have, like, do you see? Because how long have you had this gym again? This location here?
This location, almost 3 years now.
3 years, and then the original location that you had.
The original one we had for about 5 years.
For 5 years, right? From like the whole time, like, do you see the transformations in these kids, like with the moment that they first come in here?
Of course, yeah, of course. I mean, I haven't had a lot of kids start as kids and end up adults in my program. However, we used to, like, before the big gym I told you about, the 7,500 square feet, we had a gym in Rockland, which is even closer to Montreal, just outside of the east end of Ottawa. And that's where I had my first gym. We had 3,000 square feet, 2 floors. We ended up getting, in Rockland, there's only about 5,000 people. We ended up getting about 350 members. So we started with traditional Japanese jiu-jitsu and Muay Thai kickboxing, and I started transitioning a little bit. And I started fighting when I was there. The following was crazy, and seeing the kids grow from there, and I still know them today on social media and so on. One of them is Patrick Hines. Patrick, you're the best, buddy. So Patrick Hines is one of my students' kids, and he's got Down. He's got Downs, and he's an adult now, and now he's a rapper, and I try to follow him. He's cool. He's like one of the coolest kids, and his sisters are fantastic. And just a group of people that I had there were just fantastic people. They just really were. And seeing the kids as they grow up, and they maybe they didn't continue the martial arts, but at least they had some sort of discipline as they started in martial arts. Now, I'm happy to be a part of it, no matter how small, right? But then once in a while, I'll be like, I don't know. For example, I was at Home Depot once doing some shopping, and this guy walks up and he goes, "Hey, hi, how are you? Hey, used to train me when I was 5 or 6." He's a super nice kid, and he's working hard, and he's telling me about his life. Oh, good for you. So that's nice to see that. It's nice to see that people remember at least. So put a little bit of memory for them, that they had a good time, they enjoyed themselves, and that's important for me. Because it's not a waste of a life, right?
Oh, absolutely, I agree, man. Just seeing that progress, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Really. And as you said, yes, you want to be a good martial artist or whatever, but at the end of the day, it's about growing as a person.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So with your training and running a business, it can be a lot for some people sometimes. How do you keep your mind how do you keep your mindset straightened, if you want to call it that?
I don't know. I just do. I don't even sometimes like I have so since the COVID hit and I went to shut down the gym, I started doing some other stuff. So I ended up starting a renovation company. So I have a renovation company. Then I said, with my ADHD, I'm like, I gotta do something else. So then I got my real estate license. So I'm a realtor. Since I retired from fighting, I want to do something different as well, even though I still had a gym. So I became an actor. So I've been doing film. I've been doing film. I have the gym. I've been doing real estate. I'm doing renovations. And like it's very hard, but I do keep everything separate, right? So when and that's why I don't have the gym during the daytime, because I'm busy during the day, and we don't have a big members right now, a lot of members right now. So I just opened it up at night, and people are very happy. So it's good. So I just come in at night. So I do my daytime thing. So I'm focused. When I wake up in the morning, boom, 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 kitchen countertops, blah, blah, drywall, blah, 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 done. And then around noon, I'll switch to real estate, phone calls, emails, a couple hours. And then I'll try to take a rest, try to go to the gym, and then I'll come here to teach classes at night. So it's just like in the moment, as they say, in the moment, I try to be in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm here at the gym, I'm in the moment. Once in a while, I'll get a phone call for like renovations, and I'll take the call for a quick call. But when I'm coaching class, like I had a conversation with the students about this. You got to be present.
You're the coach, yeah.
Not only that, as a student, be present, because you can't be grappling and rolling or sparring with somebody
if
you're thinking about something else. Impossible. It's impossible. You can't, because you're going to get beat up. You're going to get hurt. You're going to do whatever. So this is where we talk about being present and making sure that you're always ready and always paying attention. So try to be present in everything you do. And I get people to tell me, "Oh, you should try yoga." I've been doing yoga for fucking 25 years. This is literally what it is.
Yeah.
Going to a ring. What do you think I'm thinking of? Nothing but this.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah.
So yoga is good though. I've tried it. It just like I said, my brain doesn't stop.
You think about
Be
something.
moving.
Yeah.
That's what you want to be doing, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, yoga is great for some people. It's not for me.
Yeah.
That's the way I do it.
That's a great advice, man. Just wrapping it up here, you mentioned you do a lot of things. You're jack of all trades. What else do you have in mind for the future? Like, what else is there something you want to try? Is there something you want to come back to? Maybe fighting? Like, what's on your mind? And what do you want to do in the future?
I don't know. I'm trying tennis. I had somebody point out some somebody showed me some of their tennis skills.
Yeah.
And I started training some tennis. I hired a coach, and Emilio has been good helping me, coaching me some classes. He's like, "You really never played before?" I said, "Yep, never played." He goes, "No." I swear to God. So he's very nice in that sense. But it's fun. Tennis is not hard. Not easy, man.
It's hard.
It's not easy.
No,
It's easy.
especially just like the singles. Oh man.
Yeah, exactly. Singles hard. You got to be running your ass up.
Yeah. And like you have to hit it like properly, because I tried just putting all my strength into it. It's flying. It's out of the ring.
It's a whole
You got to spin the ball and everything.
Yeah.
And and I trained with my partner a couple times, and it's been fun. It's been really fun. So that's something that's different. I mean, I go to the gym, I lift weights, and I don't know. As far as what I want to do in the future, I want to be able to I want to be able to coach more and have somebody run my renovations. And I just literally want to coach and I want to do real estate. So that's really the only goal I have. I don't have really I am much else other than giving my grandson a great life. I got a grandson just recently. So
Oh, congratulations. Grandpa now.
Grandpa now. Yeah. That's awesome.
yeah.
I want to ask you one last question here, and it's just in regards to like training and whatnot. With over like 43 fights, that's a lot of fights.
Yeah.
Can you recall like a really just tough time where you had to really dig deep in the mind and just push?
Everyone.
Every single one, right?
Yeah. I don't, because I'm not your typical athlete. I'm not athletic. Even though I've had all these fights, I'm not athletic at all. Like I'm not fast. I'm the slowest fighter I know. As far as punches, I have to be sneaky with my punches and sneaky with my stuff. I'm not quick. So I've had to, endure a lot of guys who are faster than me. And I just feel like, if you Coach Firas Zahabi said it best, and it was a nice compliment. He said to me, he goes, you find a way. He goes, no matter what, you always find a way. And it's true. I thought about it. I'm like, it's true. I just find a way. Whether win or lose, I find a way to finish the fight. I've lost the fight by rear naked choke once. I lost the fight by breaking my arm once. And if I recall, out of all of my fights, that's the only way I lost other than decisions. Wow. So I've always gone through, man, you know what? I'm impressing myself. It's true. I think I lost by rear naked choke. I lost by arm break. I think everyone has been decisions. So I appreciate what he said about me. He says you always find a way. And yeah, so I don't know. I guess every fight's been hard because I'm not man, doing box jumps for me, it's fucking hard.
Oh, I agree.
You know Roy McDonald?
Yeah.
Okay, so I trained with him for a long time too, TriStar as well. So speaking of nice guys, this guy's a nice guy. I'll tell you the story. We were sparring one day and he's got these Everlast gloves, very nice gloves. He's sponsored by them. I thought, that's cool. Well, you want a pair? Oh, sure, that'd be nice. Yeah, sure. So I think it was the weekend after, or the week after, or 2 weeks after, maybe. I go to train at TriStar. He's not there, but I'm not even thinking about it. I'm training. All of a sudden, he shows up to the front desk. He's not even training that day. He showed up just to give me the gloves.
Wow.
Come on, that's a good man right there.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very nice man. So so I mean, I always pretty much got beat by everybody at TriStar Gym for sparring, but it never stopped me. I know that I had to keep going and listen to my coach. Coach Firas was very, very good to me. He was very nice to me, and very helpful, and always cheered me on. And yeah, man, it was a great career. Honestly, it was.
No, I love it. Now, last question for me, because I really want to know this. I asked everyone this. If you were, with all the experience you have now, 43 fights, experience in business, and all that stuff, if you were to look back when you first originally started, let's say when you were 20 years old, right? What advice would you give young Nabil?
You'll be okay. That's all I would say. You'll be okay.
I like it because you'll always find a way.
You are.
Like you said, you always find a way.
Not just in fighting,
right?
but
in life. Yeah.
That's the. I mean, if you wanted me to say advice, my advice would be just don't let it get to you. That's literally all I would say. Don't let it get to you, and because there's a few times where I let things get to me, but I always knew I'd be okay. So, yeah.
That's all you need.
Honestly, that is all you need. Right? There's nothing in life that you can't get over, right? Everything's just temporary.
Is it funny? There's a group on Instagram. I think it's a group of actors that talk. There's like a group. They always sit there and chat. One of the things that was said, I think it was who played? Oh my God, I can't remember. Who was on the island with? Who was by himself on the island? What's his name?
The island.
He was on the island by himself. He had a little coconut as a partner. He was, oh my God, what's his name?
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Which can't remember his name. Why? Once you try to think of his name, it just doesn't come up. His name is?
Patrick.
No.
I know what you're talking about, but
Is this like a movie?
Yeah, it's a movie.
What's the movie called?
Either way,
Yeah.
it'll probably come up to me afterwards. But he said, I wish I would have known this too shall pass. He said these words to the other actors. Something I wish I would have known back then. This too shall pass. That's something that's people don't think about. No matter what it is, it's gonna pass. Whatever it is, whatever you're dealing with now, it's gonna be over.
Absolutely.
And God, who is it? There's so many things that people say on social media these days are so good, especially like some of the top performers in the world. Like someone said, you're gonna let someone 18,000 whatever seconds you have in a day, right? Said, are you gonna let someone in 60 seconds ruin 18,000 whatever minutes of your day, seconds of your day, for 60 seconds? I can't remember what it was. Anyway, my brain is, I've been punching the head for a living for a long time. So I think was it Coolio? No, it wasn't Coolio. It was the other one. Anyway, either way, one of the rappers had said that, and it makes sense. Like, I'm really happy and glad to see some of these top performers coming out and saying things that make sense.
Yeah.
Rather than just being all show and whatever, right?
Yeah.
So it's important.
And the one thing you mentioned too with like this too shall pass, the biggest thing, okay, so it will pass, but the biggest thing that I want to just add there is that it will pass, but sooner or later you're gonna have to face it.
Yeah.
Right? And if you don't face it, you're just running away from your problems, and that's a big problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Even bigger problem.
Yeah, fight or flight, right? That's what we talked about.
I really like that about that.
Sir, well, last question. We ask everyone this. Thank you. It's been a wonderful episode here. We enjoyed, speaking with you and getting to know you.
Area 2. Thank you.
Last question. Who should be our next guest? And obviously, if you say that person's name or they can be more than one, you gotta help us out.
Oh, snap. Who should be next? Dennis Kang.
Ooh, Dennis. We'll be in Richmond. We'll be in
go. He's
Vancouver.
local
We gotta
too.
come see you.
There you go.
It's easy. Good assist. Thank you.
Hey, I just called him a second ago. I'll call him
maybe
back.
call him again. Yeah,
He
there
said
you go.
he's supposed to call me back. Yeah, Dennis Kang. I think he would have some good stories, I think, from overseas and from his life experience for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Dennis Kang, we'll see you soon.
He's coming home, so we're coming.
Exactly. So, Nabil, thank you so much for taking time out of your day to really hang out with us, and thank you for welcoming us to your facility out in
My pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Nepean, Ottawa. It's Nepean,
Nepean.
Ottawa.
One
Is it
thing,
Nepean or Nepean?
Nepean.
Nepean.
I forgot what we were saying. I want to say one thing to my students that listen to this. No cursing on the mat. I know I cursed through this whole fucking thing. I know. Listen. I know I was cursing through this whole thing. Okay. I'm not on the mat. I'm in the ring. It's a podcast.
Yeah.
You guys know that I'm not like that. I mean, it's a matter of control. So control yourself on the mat. That's all it is.
He took it back. I'm not.
I do
It's
curse.
out of control. He took it back. He took it back.
So it's controlling yourself on the mat. That's my point, right? So,
Yeah.
Anyway, they all know I curse like a
love it.
motherfucker. So.
So, Nabil, thanks again. We really do
much.
appreciate you. Until next time, guys, my name is MP.
My name is Stefan SB, and we have.
Nabil The Thrill.
We're out.
Peace.